That's what it's all about, right? About having the right systems. And that's why you have fun to franchise that allows you to make sure you have those systems that you know that you need to have based on your experience. And also, the communities where you have the rental properties may be diverse, maybe speak different languages, have different cultural practices. Any advice in that area? The things that happen to you or that you can improve?
Well, I mean, honestly, I haven't run into too many problems where the communication has been difficult enough where I've had to hire a translator, but that's something that can always be done as well. I think some of the bigger issues that we run into is with tenants and with some properties in particular are HOA guidelines and educating the tenants on following the HOA guidelines. And if that makes sense, and I know it's not directly related to your question, but I've got a couple of owners that I guess when there's an HOA violation, the owner is notified, not the property manager, and then they won't notify me so I can have the tenant correct the problem. So there's a little bit of an education communication gap there, but that's really the only problems that I've had.
That's very nice. That's very good to know. Okay, the most, I guess, if I'm a property owner, my main concern is to maximize uh, my rental income, maximize my cash flows.
Mhm.
What kind of steps can you take as a property manager to maximize that income for the owner?
Well, and I'll tell you right off the bat, that is my main job, is to maximize the rents for the owner. I work for the owner, and my job is to help them and I get the highest ROI on that property that they can get. And we do that by making sure we get the most rent that we can get for that property, getting the best tenant that it can actually afford to stay in that property, and then we'll take care of that property. And then also raising the rents periodically as the market allows. Uh, so yeah, the main job is to help that owner maximize their return on their investment, and some of that could even be uh, a matter of knowing how much their mortgage is, what their interest rates are, and making suggestions to them on when an appropriate time might be to refinance.
Right. Um, in summary, property management uh, for real estate agents can be a really good way to increase their income, to have a part-time job or a full-time job. There are different choices if I want to, as a real estate agent, work with, right? I can be a leasing agent and work with the tenants. That's my focus. I can be a BDM, a business development manager, and I make phone call to owners of properties, to investors, and bring them in. And also, I can be a full property manager where I manage the property from renting the property to all the process of having the tenant uh, in the property. What are your, as a conclusion, what are your main goals as a property manager in reference to having a very good relationship with the investor to make sure that income, as you said, that's the key, that income is protected, and also having a good relationship with the tenant.
Yeah, I think the main thing would be, yes, if a real estate agent, for instance, is looking to get into or at least is interested in property management, there are several different ways to make money in property management. One, if you want to continue to do real estate sales, you could always just use the referral program and make money that way. But if you're looking for a change and looking to actually start in property management, you could be a leasing agent. You could be an actual property manager and handle the day-to-day business tenant communications and owner communications and property maintenance, or you could be a business development manager in strictly sales. So those are several avenues that you could use to get into the property management industry. Sure.
Right. That's awesome. Any additional recommendations that we have for real estate agents? Systems of education, tips to become a real property manager?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of information online, but you could spend hours, days, weeks going through all that information. Or if anyone's interested, I'd be happy to sit down with them and let them pick my brain and answer any questions that they've got. So.
Excellent. Tell us, to finalize, tell us a little bit about your franchise and
Okay, yeah, the franchise PMI, which is Property Management Incorporated. I believe it was started in 2008, and we are consistently recognized by Entrepreneur Magazine as the top property management company, top company in our industry by the magazine, and then we also get recognition, Inc. Magazine's top 100 franchises. We've been recognized several times there. But again, the reason I chose PMI versus starting my own property management company or other franchises that are available as well is because of, one, the amount of systems and technology that there is available and the amount of support, both from corporate as well as other franchisees. I reached out to a number of franchisees, and every single one of them was more than willing to spend time with me on the phone answering my questions. And, again, it's just a matter of having the systems in place and the resources that if I have questions, I can go to PMI corporate or PMI franchisees and get those questions answered. So, yeah, and I mean, honestly, I think we have about a dozen franchises here in the Metroplex, the DSW Metroplex. Not all of us manage rental properties. Some of us manage associations. Some manage only commercial property. And there's a couple that only do short-term rentals, the Airbnb type rental. So with a PMI franchise, you've got a lot of income streams and a lot of really different businesses that you could do through the PMI franchise. But that's one of the things that attracted me to it as well. I have a real estate background from an investment standpoint. So I started obviously in the residential pillar, managing residential properties. I also managed some small commercial properties, office buildings and office warehouse buildings and retail. But I do not manage associations currently, and I do not manage the short-term rentals.
Thank you. That's great to know. Thank you for tuning in into the Angel Real Estate Podcast. Today's episode was hosted by me, Juan Carlos, and our guest expert was Jeff Rignald, expert in property management. Our podcast is produced by the Angel Real Estate team with is supported from our marketing team, Brian Castellanos and Javier Vargas. And our editor team includes our writer and editor, Jorge Hernandez. We would like to thank our audience for tuning in and supporting our podcast. Your continued support and feedback are essential to our success. To learn more about today's episode or any other topics related to the real estate investing, please visit us on Instagram at angelrealestate.us.